Are you new to coatings inspection and not sure which gauges are needed to start your new career path? If so, I will clue you in on 5 instruments or guides that every coatings inspector should have on the job coming up. Hey everyone, Bill Corbett with KTA here to give you some guidance on 5 basic items that every coatings inspector should have in their tool bag. There are literally dozens of instruments, guides, kits, and tools that an inspector may need to own, and there are many choices of manufacturers. Which tools will be needed will be based on the inspection checkpoints listed in the project specification. However, on nearly every coatings project, you will need these 5 basic items. First, you will need to measure the prevailing conditions of temperature and humidity, or what we call ambient conditions and surface temperature. These conditions will determine whether painting work can begin or continue based on the coating manufacturer's requirements. We can use sling psychrometers in conjunction with psychrometric charts and surface temperature thermometers to measure the air and surface temperature and look up the relative humidity and dew point temperature. Or we can use the Defelsco dew point meter, or DPM, to measure and record these same conditions. Second, if the steel surface was abrasive blast cleaned, you will need to verify the surface profile conforms to the specified range in the project specification. A surface profile that is too low or too high can cause coating performance problems. We can measure the depth of the surface profile using one of 2 common methods: a digital depth micrometer or replica tape. For the replica tape method, you will need a roll of coarse and a roll of X-coarse replica tape, a spring micrometer, and a burnishing tool. If you prefer a digital depth micrometer, the Defelsco Surface Profile Gauge, or SPG, is a solid choice. Before we move on to the next instrument, I want to let everyone know that we've developed a free checklist of the top 20 items that most inspectors purchase, with a short description of how and when to use each item. You can find the free checklist on KTAGauge.com/gauge list, or just click the link in the description below. Now let's continue with the third item every inspector should own: an SSPC visual guide for evaluating surface cleanliness. Depending on whether the project you are on involves dry abrasive blast cleaning, hand or power tool cleaning, water jetting, or wet abrasive blast cleaning, SSPC has prepared a visual guide that can help you determine if the surface cleanliness requirement in the specification has been achieved. If dry abrasive blast cleaning was done, you should have a copy of SSPC Viz 1 guide. If hand or power tool cleaning was done, you should have a copy of the SSPC Viz 3 guide. If water jetting was done, you'll need a copy of the SSPC Viz 4 guide. And if wet abrasive blast cleaning was done, you should have a copy of the SSPC Viz 5 guide. Each of these guides contains color images that are used to supplement the written surface cleanliness definitions and are invaluable in the process of assessing surface cleanliness. If you're not trained in how to use these guides, then you may want to watch our how-to video on using SSPC visual guides for surface cleanliness. The fourth item you really need to have is a reliable dry film thickness gauge. Nearly every project will include measurement of the thickness of each coat once it dries. There are a variety of both magnetic pull-off gauges and electronic gauges to choose from. The electronic gauges are faster, more accurate, and can be used on both magnetic and non-magnetic metal surfaces. They can also be adjusted if necessary. The Positector 6000 is made here in the US and is one of the best on the market. The fifth item you will need is a set of traceable coded standards to make sure your dry film thickness gauge is working properly before you use it. Industry standards like ASTM D7091 and SSPC PA2 require that coating thickness gauges be verified for accuracy prior to and after each use in the range of use. The coded standards are very accurate and enable you to quickly and easily check your gauge on site. Well, that's it for today's video. We hope that you found this helpful to learn what 5 instruments or guides every coating inspector should have on the job. Please remember that if you haven't yet done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, ring the bell, and follow us online to be updated about videos like the one today. We'll see you next time.